So, so I've been sitting out here in Montana, quite bored. There's really not a lot to do. There's a lot of things I could do that I don't really like. It's boring. A lot of tedious exercises and things like that. So I started really getting into the mental mode of how am I going to fix things? How am I going to make my life better? How am I going to not be so bored? How am I going to do things that are more fun? And what I realized is, you know, we got to set it up ourselves. We got to be the ones to make shit better. We got to be the ones to decide this is the action that I'm going to take, and I'm just going to go for it. It's kind of a weird feeling, when we're always told to not do that, to just be what people say you should be and be cool because people say you should be cool. But the way I look at it is like this. Eventually, at some point, we're going to be sitting around and you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to make some kind of decision to make a decision. You're going to have to do something. And when people are stuck to just make whatever decisions they're going to make, it's different. It feels like, well, now what should I do? What people do is they usually do what's automatic to them. They're like, well, this is what I'm used to doing, so this is what I'm going to do. And, that's what's got us the results that we originally have. So I got two kind of concepts that I'm swimming around in my head. So concept one is presence, right? Which is what is the fullness of what is really going on, right? Just established. And then beyond that, there's, your focus, your moment-to-moment focus, and where it's going, what's it doing. So I believe like everything that we could focus on is almost like could be like a video game. Like you get better at it, right? So what about the focus of you? What about the focus of what you've really become and who you really are and what you could do or what's possible for you? Those focuses grow too, and that means you grow. And, personally, we want to grow as much as we can, as fast as we can. Because if you're bored and broke today, chances are you'll be bored and broke tomorrow. And even if you change a whole bunch of things today, tomorrow will still be very, very similar. So it's very difficult to get yourself going, to do all these new things, because our brain is set up in a way where it does not want to do new things. It wants to do what it's used to doing, and that's it. So, they call that different cognitive biases. I'm writing some of this stuff in a book, and I'll make it available. It will not be available at the moment of this recording, but it will be soon. But essentially, we have all these cognitive biases, or, our ability to cognize or make sense of, things is biased in a certain way. Like, well, there's many. There's like, a few dozen. But one is confirmation bias, right? So I always want to be right. We want to be sure that we're doing a good job. Usually that lines up to somebody else's standards, some kind of expert. But when you got to say, well, you're the expert of your own life, so, that being the case, what is your standard for you being awesome? Or what is your standard for something is awesome? Because we get to choose, what we think is awesome eventually, just by doing things over time. If you work out today, you probably won't think it's very awesome. Do it for a few years, you'll think it's fucking awesome. You'll go up there and be like, yes, cannot wait to hurt myself again. Smoking cigarettes, same thing. Smoke one cigarette, you'd be like, I'm not doing this. But you smoke them for years, you won't want to do without them. So habits are very, very intense. So what I've been noticing is that, there's all these habits that we got and that we can change. So, we got to start changing them. And it's not going to happen today. It's going to happen slowly. Some of these habits that I'm talking about is just the way that we engage with life, the way we engage with others. There are so many people that are just sitting around bored like you, that are just waiting to be engaged. Engage them. It's easy for me to say that, But even the people I want to engage with, like close family, close friends, I haven't engaged for a while. And the first call is always the hardest call. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say today. And I want to keep putting out videos so that there's a progression that you can see over time, because I'm going for the gusto. I mean, I'm trying to really help people and get really tight information that makes a lot of sense, and make sense of it in a fast way to save you the time from doing it, because that always helped me. I've learned from a lot of smart people, read a lot of books, and I've learned a lot of stuff. But to take all that stuff and to say, okay, what do I think of it? Boom, and then give it to you. That's different, right? So that's what I'm working on now. But it's going to be a progress and a process. So I want to start putting it on video, make sure it's on there, make sure it's out there, and make sure you know who the heck I am and what you're dealing with. So that's pretty much what's up with that. And on that note, thank you and deal.